So you're probably wondering why I have this knife I'm about to review for you all on a box. Well, it's because I stupidly was just doing another video for you guys, and I actually scratched my whiteboard. And you know, these things aren't free, so this time I'm a smarty, and I put a little box I had. This is actually to an angle, a digital leveler for my KME sharpening system. So that's why the little box is there, if you're wondering. But today, of course, you're not tuned in for that. You're tuned in for the review of the Gerber EAB. And boy, oh boy, is this a great knife. This is what I call, if you want a knife that you can just beat to hell. I mean, that's just indestructible. And you don't have to worry about if you never want to sharpen your knives, okay, this is the knife for you. Okay, if you like using box cutters, okay, you like the replaceable box cutter blades, this is the knife for you. Now, of course, you're probably wondering, how much does this knife go for? Well, I just checked the Amazon price, and right now on Amazon it is selling as an add-on item. I'm a Prime member, so I'm not sure if you have to pay a little bit more if you are not an Amazon Prime member, but it was going for $8.94. So that's, of course, US dollars, so that is a great deal. I remember I paid, I believe, $9 for this knife a couple years ago. I have had this knife for at least 2 years, if not 3 years at this point. Now, this knife is all steel, alright? The whole handle is steel. It is a liner lock, okay? So this is a locking blade, which is fantastic. You can't really, you kind of can use your thumb, guys, but to be honest, I just pinch it. I never was able to really use my thumb. I just close it like that. The great thing about this, guys, is the knife, top to bottom closed, is, let's see here, I get it on camera. Not even 3 inches, guys. Not even 3 inches. And let's see how wide we are. And we're just at an inch. Right about an inch perfectly there. So we're at an inch, and I mean, it's super thin, guys. This thing feels, it's like a 1/4 inch thin in the pocket when it's actually in your pocket. This is a really comfortable knife, guys, to carry. Even though mine is scratched, it actually looks really nice. Has a nice, just kind of like a, it's not stone washed, like a brushed steel finish. This would be a great fancier knife. Not that it's expensive, but if you were maybe wearing a suit, putting it in your pocket, it's classy, I think. And the screw here, this screw right here, is how you change out the blades. So the screw goes through the handle, both sides, and it fits in the notch and holds in the box cutting blade. And you can take the box cutter blade out and switch it, because there's a concealed portion of the edge right here that's being covered by this finger guard right here. And you can use that portion once you've dulled this portion. And if you get some higher quality box cutting blades, it actually lasts quite a while, guys. I just have a Stanley blade in here right now. It actually ships with a nice bimetal SK5 blade, from what I understand. So let's talk about the handle for a moment. Okay, so there are 2 main ways in my thinking of holding this knife. You can put your 2 fingers here, your pinky here, and if you have bigger hands, this is going to be a really scrunched knife, and you can put your forefinger here. There is a little, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it does kind of arc right here. So your forefinger does, your index finger does fit nicely there. It's nice and comfortable. However, this is a razor blade, so I'd be very scared to do any heavy-duty cutting with my finger like that, for risk of going forward on the knife. Instead, if I had to cut a lot of boxes or something really difficult, I would put some torque down on it and put my finger here. Okay, and this right here, to me, I want to give it a level 3 for a finger guard, like a 3 out of 5, but you know, I'm glad there's no jimping anywhere on the knife. Thank goodness for that. But it's so angled, guys, and the knife just is so slippery. There's no traction on this knife. All you got to protect yourself from going forward on the knife is is this finger guard here. I'll go ahead and say it's a medium finger guard. You know, don't abuse it. If you're cutting carpet or going real heavy duty, you know, just be careful with it. But if you're cutting boxes, this is a fantastic knife for that. It's a great little EDC knife, guys. It really is. The pocket clip, I'll show you, close the knife for a moment. The pocket clip is wide, okay, so you can use it as a money clip. I think that was the purpose behind this knife. Also, you can actually just throw it in a pocket with some bills. It's also just a great pocket clip. It's not very wide, so there are going to be some tactical pants, some BDUs, and some jeans that just don't like this knife because the clip doesn't have a lot of air in it. However, it's a smooth clip. It's not going to tear up your pants, of course, because this is perfectly smooth metal underneath, and the lip comes far enough to make it slide in and out. I find on my jeans it fits perfectly in that little pocket that's above, like the change pocket, above your main pocket on your right-hand side. That's where I always carried this knife. And each one does have a serial number, amazingly. So, Gerber takes pride in this little knife. It says Gerber right on the clip. Let's see, what else is there to say about this little guy? I don't see why you would ever have to adjust the pivot on it, but it looks like you need a special tool to do that. It looks like you're not going to be adjusting that pivot, at least not easily. It's on nylon washers, but I'll tell you what, mine is smooth. It's fine. You can always put a little oil in there if you want it to be a little smoother. I'll go real briefly. However, one more thing about this little screw right here. It does pop out just enough that you can actually, let me see. Yes, you can pop it, just go slow with it. If you want to open it, if you need to open it one-handed, just go real slow about it. You can do that. However, the best way to open this knife, guys, is honestly just to take it two-hand opening. But I'm glad it has a lock on it for safety. I know, however, if you live in the United Kingdom, this would be an offensive weapon if you carried it without a good reason, whatever that means. So, because it locks, I'm sorry, United Kingdom, you can't carry this on or about your person without a qualifying reason. Let's see. Real briefly. So, if you are ever in a bad situation, and this is your knife for the day, I wouldn't attempt to defend yourself with this unless you were really in a bad situation. Hope you never have to anyway, but I need to talk about it because I don't want someone to misunderstand and think that because the finger guard goes down pretty deep here, this would be a great defensive knife as well. Even though the razor blade is extremely sharp and comes to a nice sharp point, it's extremely fragile. It's only probably less than a millimeter thick, to be honest. And the risk of you hurting yourself, I think, is astronomically high with this design. So I really would not, unless I was just in the most dire of situations. I'll just leave it at that. To me, guys, this is an EDC knife. It's not a hard-use EDC to me. It's a light to medium-duty EDC knife. It's a knife that you can just carry around. It's sheeple-friendly. No one gets scared when they see this. I can open this even in the city of Chicago. No one's going to be frightened by it. It's perfectly legal. It's a 1.5-inch blade protruding from the handle. Well, I should say sharpened edge. This is, of course, like a ½ inch if you measured it from here, but I measured it from this point up, which is 1.5 inches. So, yeah, I think that's all there is to say on the Gerber EAB. It's a great little pocket knife, and for $10, you just can't go wrong. As always, guys, stay safe, be kind to your fellow man, and always be ready to fight evil both physically and mentally. Have a great day now.